Right, folks. Yet another one in the series of the bookies taking the old Johnny Cash. Right, I'll give you a couple here. These are a couple I've read in the comment section today for those that don't read the comments. First one's about William Hill. Second one is about Ladbrokes. I'll read you the William Hill one first. That one's on my phone. The Ladbrokes one's going to be on the screen in a moment. Right, this gentleman messaged me, a guy called Cameron, not going to use his full name. He said, I managed a branch of William Hill for around about 6 or 7 years. I like a bet myself, so as rare as it is to say it, I actually knew what I was doing in regards betting and the rules and such. I can assure you the people at the top, that means the area managers and upwards, are the problem with bookmakers. The people who work in the shops, from my experience, are just doing what they are told. It's a tough gig. Working in the shops, and I would agree, the new breed of shop staff have no knowledge or experience of betting, or even interested in sport for that matter. Sad state of affairs, really. The training of the new staff is appalling. Glad I got out when I did. So he's saying while he was there, he knew what he was doing. Many don't, but he knew what he was doing. The upper management are what cocks it up for us normal everyday punters. And he said the people behind the tills at one time were okay, now they're absolutely crap, but they're not being trained, which is sad really, but we're in it on a regular basis. And I found out that to my own cost when I messaged them or rang them you can't ring anymore, live chatted on Saturday, which started this whole thing. By the way, he's managed a shop, he knows all about bookmaking, about betting, he now knocks the staff, and it turns out he's an Everton fan. It's really, really weird, he should put all that there, because I messaged him back saying, I've got a mate who's almost identical to you. He's probably the same age group. He's also managed at William Hill's. He's managed also at Dones and elsewhere. Been at William Hill's for a good few years in 2 stints. And he's also an Everton fan. And I think he would tell me absolutely the same. And I've got one more for you folks and then I'm done. Just read you these that have come through. They're worth listening to. This was off Luke. I'm going to read as it is. With all due respect, Luke, I don't know if it's because he was on predictive or something, or I don't know. The English isn't great throughout it all, so I'm going to read as he sent it. Right, where do we go? Let's just read what he said to me. Bear with me a sec. This came off Luke about 4 hours ago. Ladbrokes done me. Put £10 into play with they game me 50 for free. I ended up winning big off Fish and Frenzy. I'm guessing that's a casino thing. I don't know. I never do casino. It was £1,300. I wagered it. And it worked out to £14,567, so we got to over 14 grand I could withdraw. They then asked me for ID, so I provided that, even though they should have asked for the ID first before betting. But then they asked me, and when I sent it into them, the £10 proof. Yes, they asked me for ID. I had to prove where I worked and that I was on a wage every week. They still refused to pay me. They then blocked me and cancelled my account. Then they made out that I never had an account with them. This is 4 years ago, and I've still heard a thing off them and not had a penny. So the crux of that is, as well as the English being a bit ropey, he's put 10 quid in. They've given him 50 quid. I don't know, it's free bets. I'm guessing it's on casino. He got it up to 1,300 quid, and then wagering further, they got it to 14.5 grand. Now, this might be bull, but I can only believe it's true. Why is he lying to me? There's no reason to lie. I'm only reading what's on the screen in front of me. If you have a look, folks, it's under the Ladbrokes one, and it was done 4 hours ago by Luke. As I say, won't give you his full name. I don't want to do that in case it is his proper name. So we got up to 14,567. When he wanted to draw out, they asked for ID. He sent them all the ID they wanted, including payslips and everything else. And then they just blocked his account, closed his account down, never heard a thing. 4 years ago, never had a penny. I think he should have gone and should go to the Ombudsman or somebody of that ilk. Because if he's telling the truth, I can't see for the life of me how he won't get paid. But, another tale of woe. So we've got something there from William Hill, telling you about the staffing levels there and how poor they are and how bad the training is. And then we're going to Ladbrokes telling how, like many other companies, they never ask for anything up front. They'll just take your money. They'll let you bet all day. They'll let you lose. No ID required. Or, they'll take your money, let you bet as long as you want, let you win, and then decide they don't want to pay out without ID. And then if you're lucky and you jump through every hoop and tick every box, you may or may not get paid. If you're unlucky, they might still find a way of not paying you because they don't like to pay out. That's it for today. Any more stories, send them to me. Any stories that you think are more in-depth than that, more involved, send them to the email address on the site and I'll have a look at them. And again, as I'll say, I've said it in the past, I'll say it again, anybody that wants to come to the channel to tell us exactly what happened to them, tell us about their experiences with any high street bookmaker or YouTube punter, we'll let you hear your story absolutely live on this channel. Not bad, is it? Ooh, not bad at all. Right, let me knock this off because I'm getting lost here. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'll start waffling. I waffle as it is anyway. I'll start even more of a on this. Oh, right, there's one on there. There's another thing. DR Dangler or something. DR Dangler. I've only ever blocked one person because he was abusing a couple of people that come onto this site. DR Dangler, that's the same person who's got about 4 or 5 profiles on it. I mentioned him earlier, he's got 4 or 5 profiles. DR Dangler's one of those profiles. I'm going to block you, DR, now. You're going to be gone. You might never see this because you're going to be gone. Or you'll see it, but you can't comment. I'm only going to block you because you're having a pop at Peter Fillingham. Now, he's not on here to defend himself. He doesn't need to be on here. When you're having a pop at Peter on my site, it's like you're having a pop at Peter, whether he's on here or not, whether he's visiting. I'm not going to let you have a pop at Peter. I like him. I think he's a good egg. I've got nothing against him. I think he's very honest. I think he's very transparent. And until I'm unhappy with him, to me, he's one of my subscribers. I'm not going to let anybody knock any of my subscribers. If you knock them, I get rid of you. Knock me all you want. Call me all you want. I'm not bothered. Don't bother me. I've got skin thick as a rhino. Don't worry about that at all. But don't call anybody that comes on here or anybody that I like. So in a moment, I'm going to block the second person of all time. It's DR Dangler. As I say, it's the same fellow. He's got about 4 or 5 profiles. This is one of them. I'm not going to block his other profiles yet, although I know who he is, until he has a pop again at anybody else. And if he does, I'll block that one. And we'll keep blocking, and you'll keep coming back on a new profile. Then I'll block. Then you come on. It means you've got to keep setting up profiles. And as long as it's putting you out and messing you about, I'm happy to do that. Okay? I like Peter Fillingham.